Hi, good evening everybody. Welcome to another edition of Playoff Bound. I think it's the second video I've done on this segment. And yeah, I just felt like throwing on the GOAT, so I'm in the GOAT tonight. And guys, I want to talk a little bit about a divorce. We got to divorce ourselves this year. Really got to divorce ourselves this year from the negative folks, because this is what I know is going to happen. When the Sabres are really looking good, because they're going to look good this year, all the people that were negative are just going to jump on the bandwagon like they've always been pushing for the team. And I see some of the comments out there, and it's unbelievable just how ingrained the psyche is of negative fans. It blows me away, guys. It does. It's why I started this channel. As many of you guys know, I started this channel because I was sick of the negative Buffalo Sabres channels. I was sick of it. And I felt like somebody had to step in there and bring, I don't know, some logic that being scared of winning, okay? Because this is what people like. The negative people are always people that are scared of success. It's what it is. And they look for reasons that haven't even happened to run down the team. Oh, the owner doesn't want to spend money. It's the stupidest comment you can hear is the owner's too cheap. Then these fans haven't even been fans since 2011 because they forget we were the highest paid team in hockey back then. First year Pegula took the team, boom, we maxed out the cap right away, remember? Right away. We're guilty of spending stupid, not spending. Not spending is not an issue with this team. And people are saying, well, we have open cap. Okay, that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing, guys. That's power at the trade deadline. That's what that is. There's so many ways to look at this, and I get it. We need to get that winger. We do. We need to get that winger in this lineup. I'll be the first to admit that. But I'm the first to admit I hate not having the security of open cap space. I don't like that feeling. And sooner or later, I have to surrender to it and say, well, by next year, this team will be a maxed out team no matter what. It just is going to be. We're going to have to max out the cap to keep as much of this young talent as possible on this squad as we move forward. So that's the theme to this one. We need a divorce, guys. I find the Sabres fan base is very divided, okay? You've got the people with hope, people that are optimistic, the people that are positive people, and they can see what Adams has done with this rebuild. Then you got the negative people who say Adams doesn't know what he's doing, even though they have no clue when they say something like that. I mean, just take a look at how we're stockpiled in prospects now. Youngest team in hockey. We're going to be a playoff team as the youngest team in hockey with cap space. I'll tell you what, if we make the playoffs this year with the youngest team in the league, because I think we're going to be the youngest team in the league again this year, but we're going to be older. Now, how does that work? We're just going to be. We're going to be older, maybe younger as a team overall, about the same maybe I think as last year, but probably a little younger. And at the same time, we're going to have more experience in that dressing room. That's what I mean by when I say we're going to be a bit older. So you guys figure that one out. This is how you build a team. A lot of people that are 35 and under, this is their first rebuild that the Sabres have done. This is a proper rebuild since Adams took over. Before that, we had GMs trying to do bandage job guys, getting Scandella and all these, the tons of players that were useless. And now we've purposely brought guys on the team that we knew weren't going to last. We knew they weren't going to last. Many players that are gone now, we knew weren't going to last. Is Peyton Krebs going to last? I don't know. He's expendable. Should we give up on him? No. He's too young. No. It would be a mistake. It just would be a mistake. We were all ready to give up on Mittelstadt, guys. Do we forget that? Are we going to pretend, you and I, that we all thought Mittelstadt had this bright future? Please, you're lying right to my face if you say I knew Mittelstadt was going to develop. It looked like he was going to be a bust at one point, remember? Not too long ago. And then he all of a sudden, it was like in a 2-week span, he turned and never looked back. And I do believe that could happen to Peyton Krebs. Putting him on a line, let's say playing him with top players last year and saying he wasn't working out. We tried that last year. Guys, we didn't have any top players last year. Sorry to break the news to you. Nobody was playing that damn good last year. Nobody. Middlestat maybe might have been our best forward, really. I mean, that's how bad we were playing. Is Middlestat might have been carrying the team at one point. That's when things were bad. As we go along here in this journey, guys, we have to understand something, is that before we move somebody, okay? And I'm all open ears, guys, to trading anybody. I am. I'm not one of those fans saying, no, he's untouchable. No, he's untouchable. There's no such thing. Wayne Gretzky's proof of that. There's no such thing. So nobody's untouchable. But to give up on somebody is plain stupid to do. It's too soon. It just is. Maybe we've been patient, but imagine him playing on a fourth line with Okposo and Girgensons. Come on. How are you supposed to get anywhere on a line like that? All that does is kill your momentum. And this guy should not be our fighter. He should not be a guy that has to drop the gloves when he looks like he's $150 soaking wet. So this shouldn't be the guy that has to drop the gloves either. He's not supposed to be a fighter. People say, well, he doesn't want to fight. Well, he's not a fighter. He's just not. He's had some fights because nobody else would do it. Not because, So we've got to get some guys on this team that are rough and tough, will drop the gloves and win. Not Peyton Krebs. If Peyton Krebs is our enforcer, we're the idiots, not him. So we got to go forward now. And if we're going to trade Krebs, and I think they might, if they do trade him, they better get something for him. I know his market value is down, but I think we should lock him in for 2 years, if we can get him for 2 years, not at a high price, and then move him. Because then he has value. If he has some term, he has some value. Especially if he puts together a half-decent season. He could be the surprise player this year that turns things around. I'm talking a 20-goal season, let's say. It could happen. Anybody in this league can get 20 goals. Okposo did it when he was washed up. Anybody in this league can get 20. Not a lot of guys get 30. Very minimal amount of guys get 40, and 50 is rare. That's kind of how it is, how I look at it. So a lot of guys can get 20. So 20 is achievable in the right situation, confidence, what have you. I'd like to see what Lindy does with him for a year before I give up on him. Granato was a good coach in a lot of ways, but he misused a lot of the talent too, as much as he did some good things like putting Tage at center and stuff, but there was also some things he screwed up on. So as the season approaches, okay, because we're closing in on the season, guys. I mean, September 21st, we got our first preseason game. Not that far away. We're closing in. I think we're in the playoffs. I don't think... I don't understand people that think we don't have a chance to make the playoffs unless we get another player. I don't get it. Last year we underachieved completely. We really did. I see people saying all sorts of things about our blue liners, and oh my God. And it's always resentment that makes me do videos these days. I guess that's not a good thing. I should be doing more of these, but I've been working on my other channel. That's another thing. There's been things I'm working on. And folks, we have just got to stop with the absolute giving up mentality. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, the fans saying, oh, they're never going to make the playoffs under Pegula. I'm like, I guarantee these would be the people that would say, I never gave up on them the minute they make the playoffs this year. That's what they'll say. So, don't be selfish, is my motto. Don't be selfish. Be considerate of others before you post something. This thing about feeling sorry for yourself in your comments gets old, guys. It just gets old. We're never going to do this. We're never going to do that. Well, I've seen us do it all. And some of you have too. I get it with the kids that are like in their 20s, okay? I get it. You guys are frustrated, and you should be. But who's to say that our best years in the entire history of the Sabres are not in front of us? And people, what, you think it's behind us and in front of us is nothing but doom and gloom? Why? Why would you think that if you just seen the Florida Panthers win a Stanley Cup? Did you think the Florida Panthers 5 years ago were going to win a Stanley Cup, yes or no? Absolutely no, right? What did they just do? So who cares what other people think, what other fan bases think? When other fan bases run us down and I see you guys side with them and run us down too, shame on you. This is your team. You have an obligation to stand up for them and have their backs, especially at times like this, when we're the youngest team in the league and we've been building and suffering as fans together. I don't got time in this life to feel sorry for myself like some of you do. And I'm talking to the ones that just give up. Poor me, you know? It doesn't work that way, guys. Really. This year, I'm excited. I don't get how, even our negative fans, I don't get how they're not excited this year. How can you not be excited about this season? With Lindy back, we got a coach that's serious now. Aren't you curious? The young kids are going to be a year older, bigger, stronger. Devin Levi will probably be here the whole season. Like, how can you not be excited for this year? It's one of those things, guys, that boggles my mind. I don't get it. I thought, if anything, the Sabres fans at least are going to be excited about this year. And it feels like it's the opposite. They've already given up, some of them. Not this guy. No way. If there was reason for me to think it's over and done with and we're kaput and it's fit, I'd be straight with you guys. I have every reason. Go check who has the most top 10 first-round draft picks on their team in the entire NHL. Go check it. Go check it. Who's one of the biggest teams in hockey? Go check it. Who's the youngest team in hockey? Go check it. Who has the best prospect pool in the entire NHL? I still think we do. Even right now. So, what more do you want except maybe a bit of proof, right? Why? Why do you need that proof? That's my question. See, this is like me in a court of law, guys. I'm being like a lawyer and I'm getting divorced with my wife, you know? Like, why do you need this proof? You either love the team or you don't. If you love the team, I've just given you a bunch of reasons to be excited for this season. But instead, you choose instead of those reasons to look back at the last few seasons and say, we're done. We're done for. We can't handle it. We can't hack the pressure. We're never going to go anywhere. This, that. Oh, we traded Savoy, who's, you know, oh yeah, he was the coming of Gretzky. Sorry. Look, he was my favorite prospect too. But at the same time, we addressed a need on this team. Third line center. Set in stone now. We are going forward, not backwards. Let's try and keep that in mind, guys. All right, on that note, it's not a rant, but maybe it'll be I should have put this a Rome's Wrath, but it's not really a rant. It's really just me. Look, it's discouraging to read the notes and see so many Buffalo Sabres fans, the young ones especially, have already given up. And I'm not saying all of you have, but you guys see the notes like me, and it's like, come on. Have a little pride. Back up your team. If you're not a fan, get lost. Go play Candy Crush. I don't know. There's other things to do. There's pinball. You can go play. I won't encourage online gambling, but I mean, there's other things you can do. You know, go to other teams' websites and go check their news then. But to come to our holy sacred ground of the Buffalo fans who have stuck together for a decade, to bring that negative thing into it now is selfish, self-centered, inconsiderate, and wrong. It's morally wrong. Don't bring your insecurities. If you have nothing positive to say, don't bring the gray cloud with you. There's enough of it out there. And I get you need proof. I do. I understand it. I'm like that. I'm a guy that I like to know the truth. And I believe the truth this year is really going to work in our favor. I really believe that, guys. I wouldn't just say it. I really, really do. I felt good about last year, except that we had Granato behind the bench and we were soft. This year, I feel like we've toughened up already. I think Levi's more than ready to go. And if we can have UPL show anything like last year again this year, because I want to see proof when it comes to UPL. Okay, people say, yeah, but his chemistry, or his mechanics say otherwise. His mechanics don't tell me how mentally strong he is. I don't care about his mechanics. I care about how mentally strong is this guy. Can he handle the pressure of now having to do it? It's pretty damn easy to do it when there's no pressure. Now there's pressure for him to repeat something like that. We'll see this year. So if UPL slides down a bit, I won't be surprised, but I think he won't slide down to like obscurity. I think he might slide into mediocrity for a bit and have to pull himself out again. That's kind of how I see his season going. I think Levi will just be awesome the minute we put him in. They're going to feed off each other, these two young goalies. So there's a lot of good here, guys. Let's not give up, all right? Just, and it's the same repeat offenders that always are negative. I got no time for it. This is why I talked your ear off for 12, 14, 15 minutes now. So I'm going to leave it there. Guys, I'm done. I just wanted to talk, have a chat with you, touch base. Love this team, no matter what. Okay, no matter what. And no matter what doesn't mean if they fail. No matter what. Fail, good. Pressure, no pressure, doesn't matter. Die hard for life. So that just means I'm committed. And if I'm committed, then it's my obligation and duty. I have a sense of duty not to be negative about this team. This team already knows, like you do, about all the failure in the past. But I'm looking ahead. I'm not looking behind. That's it. You guys have a good night. See you soon.